Hello. Are we here? Is everybody here? You see me? Just give us a sign that everything's functioning.
Yeah. They see and hear you, yes.
Okay. Here we are. We made it. Crowdcast is having a problem, I guess.
Just when we announced all the shows on Crowdcast.
We've shifted over to YouTube. And I guess I'm going to cook something for you. Peculiar times require peculiar events, measures. Can you hear me?
Yeah, everything's perfect.
This is my kitchen. It is, you probably think it's a little strange that there's not much black in here, but there is one black piece in the back there. That's the oven, which is the bit that I hate most. There. And I'm still in the middle of some kind of long-term renovation, but it's functional and I love it. This is my kitchen island. Everybody needs a kitchen island, of course, right? Okay, I'm not going to be able to see the questions from here, so Janine is going to...
Oh yeah, all the Crowdcast questions. I might be able to see them actually in the Crowdcast page.
Yeah, you might need to re-ask your questions. Oh, what's happening?
Nothing, I'm just looking at the Crowdcast page. This is just so stupid. We were so prepared, damn it. How do I do this?
I guess you're all on some kind of lockdown, quarantined.
Yeah, it's not like anyone is in a rush, right?
Yeah, we've got time. We're here with Janine and Paul Polsky in the background there.
Side of stage.
Yeah, side of stage. Ready to take the slack. And he's also stranded out here in the desert, which is not a bad place to be, I guess.
Very beautiful, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Get fed as well.
You get fed. Get fed by this cooking situation here. I'm going to try and cook a chili sin carne, which is my very quick go-to. The quality is great, actually, it says. Okay, never done this before. I never go by a recipe. I don't measure things. So this is going to be kind of spontaneous and a little bit quirky, no doubt. Yeah, so it looks like YouTube has a quite good quality thing going on. Love you, Spanish Chris. Interesting. Kind of, I love the intrigue. Okay, so I'm going to drink my coffee, finish my coffee, and then I'll start.
I'll send the link to everyone via Patreon private message, just in case anyone missed it.
Okay.
So there might be a few more people popping up.
I'm just taking my time. The anticipation is killing me.
It was like half an hour ago, right?
So, yeah, it's a vegan recipe, if you didn't realize that already. I am a vegan. And it's been kind of semi-difficult to get ingredients because the supermarkets are a little bit strange at the moment. So I have to have a few substitutes. It should work out okay, though. Yes, you should all be vegan. Very good. Spread the word. Vegan power, yes. Okay, let's start. Alrighty. So where do I start? I would start with an onion. Ta-da! We have an onion. Medium-sized onion. Actually, this is kind of a little small, but you have those mega onions in the US, which are like this big. So I would say
That's a big one for Europe,
this
right?
is a big for Europe, but small for Americans. Okay. A big knife. There's the knife.
Uh-oh, someone's asking for the apron.
I know, it's a little disappointing. I was also disappointed myself because I remembered having an apron once. And it was for the function of cooking, nothing else. It's not around anymore. I don't know where it is. Paul was going to go and get me an apron, but I thought that was a little too much to ask. Yeah, so let's just stick to the kind of neutral, I'm at home or black thing. Right, so we have an onion. I'm going to cut that, put it in this pan with some olive oil. Where's the olive oil? There it is. Okay. I would start by just drizzling the pan like this, a little bit of olive oil. I don't know how much that would be, but it would be like probably a tablespoon, something like that maybe. Get that going. Get that ready to cook the onion. Something's under there. Okay, so onion, I would cut both ends. Cut it in the middle. Boom. And then I would peel it, both sides. Tell me if I'm going to flavor. Yeah. I cross it into small squares, as you do. Okay. One onion.
You might want to move that oil so that you can see it cut.
Are we good so far? You hear everything?
I'll move the olive oil. See?
It's moved. See. Wow.
They say you
Like
have
magic.
knife skills.
I have knife skills. Well, medium standard knife skills. So we'll just get that going a little bit. Probably medium to high heat. I like to sizzle things. Okay, get that going. We have tomatoes. Nice bunch of ripe tomatoes. For this, let's say 3 or 4 people, 1.5 medium-sized tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Tomatoes. 1.5 medium-sized tomatoes.
Are they organic? I don't think we can be choosy at this point.
They are. It'd be better if they're organic, if you want that kind of shit.
If you have the money and it's available, sure.
Okay, so put it that way. Dice them, small cubes. Trying to be kind of showy and flamboyant here. Never done it like this, but it's quite fun. Okay, got your tomatoes in there. Am I shouting?
Kind of.
Kind of shouting.
It's good though, I guess, because the sizzling is quite loud. What do
I'll
you
get
think,
my
guys?
cooking spoon.
Do you sharpen your knives with a stone?
I sharpen my knives. This dude.
Like a 50s plastic thing.
Yeah, I like old school. It's going to come at some point. Okay, that's how I sharpen a knife. Okay, that's cooking. I think it requires a tiny bit more olive oil at this point.
You want to show how it's looking, maybe? Like, I don't know if that's possible. I can move the camera in a bit, maybe.
I can probably come around, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how I can ask Chris your questions that you left on Crowdcast without overloading the Wi-Fi. I think I might have a way. Let me think.
Okay. So what I would do is I'd probably experiment a little bit. I'd do a little bit of high quality English curry powder. Ooh, a bit crispy, but we have this. Just a touch, like a teaspoon. Just to add a little zing to the chili. Starts to smell quite nice.
Okay, I got the questions if you want
Okay.
any.
Yeah, sure. I mean, as I'm cooking, I guess you could ask me the questions.
So Liz is asking, what is your favorite comfort food? Do you have recipes from childhood you still make, or has comfort food for you shifted over time?
Well, yeah, comfort food was never really very indulgent. I think I've always liked healthy food. Quite lucky. I grew up on healthy food. My mom would cook Creole curries, Szechuan curries, so that was probably the most indulgent I would get, like a really heavy, greasy, juicy curry.
You still cook them now, right?
I do, yeah. They're much lighter than I would have done if I was going for comfort.
Yes, I have. Well, I don't have data, but I have a backup Wi-Fi, which is very slow, but it seems to be working. And I'm currently just using the questions you guys submitted via podcast. But if you want to send me more questions, I already have 30 questions. But if you want to send me more, maybe try just here on YouTube, I would say, in the chat.
The meat of this chili, some kind of, I'm going to use beefless ground vegan stuff. I would not usually use that one, but it's the only one we could get in Vons. And this is actually quite good. This is a vegan line. Recommend that too. Yes, that's frozen.
What would you usually get?
Trader Joe's, beefless, or I can't remember the other one.
St. Eve's or Eve's? Or
Something like that, yeah. Okay, I have 2 medium-sized cloves of garlic. Garlic you have to be careful with, I think. It can be incredibly overpowering. Americans love to shove it in everything.
Someone for a dog? Really?
There is a dog, yeah. That's Minty.
Yes, she is.
She's over there. bit of soy sauce as a replacement for vegan broth or bouillon, I guess, to add a little bit of sodium and taste and darkness. So I would probably add a little bit already, a little bit less sodium soy sauce.
Someone says, Janet says, Beyond Beef is crazy. It freaks me out. It's too close to meat.
Yeah, the Beyond range is just, it tastes too much like meat, so I don't really see the point for vegans.
It's good though for meat eaters that want to reduce their intake.
Yeah,
right?
for transitioning people as well. So the idea is to get it kind of dark and viscous.
Don't forget to move those.
Ah, shit, sorry. So that's turning it down a little bit now, just below medium heat. I'm going to cut the garlic, and then what I'm going to do is just find a little spot on the side here.
Everyone loves garlic.
I'm sure you do love garlic, but it's even better when it kind of permeates the whole without tasting completely of garlic, I think.
Yeah, you want to show them that.
So that's the pan. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to make a little space on this side with a little bit of olive oil to just saute the garlic. I'm going to cut the garlic. I'm going to cut both ends. I'm going to squash it, peel it, and then cut it. Squash. So you flatten it. The outer shell comes up naturally. You don't have to do anything. Then it's flat and it's ready to cut.
Do you ever use already minced garlic?
No. You cut it both ways, long way, sideways. Ready to go.
What? I don't understand that. What brand oil mill for your Evo? I don't understand what that means, Georgia. You have to explain. Sorry.
So we have a little space on the side there for the garlic. I don't know if you can see it at the back here. Just cooking that a little bit, and then I'll mix it into the whole.
Yeah, that's true. In the US, they sell pre-minced garlic, and I also saw pre-cut onions, and also boiled eggs in a plastic bag, like already peeled. We don't do these things in Europe.
That's hyper convenience.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't trust it really. I don't know. I don't trust that it tastes as good, but you know, I can be convinced otherwise. It's probably just what you're used to as well with food, right?
Yeah. And what I usually do at this point is I wash my fingertips when I cut the garlic. It's just so I don't go around smelling like that.
Paul approves.
Thank you, Paul.
No,
I'm still here.
No, good.
Yeah.
Ooh, pre-peeled eggs at 7-Eleven. No, thank you.
Whoa.
Because nature might have already created a code for an egg already that doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
secret.
Yeah.
Did you know in the US they put eggs in the fridge in the supermarket because they wash them, so the natural code that prevents them from going bad goes away. I think it's only the US. I'm pretty sure everywhere else.
It's very important to not burn the garlic. So you want to keep it at a low to medium heat while you cook the first part, while you do the first part of cooking the garlic. And then once it's kind of cooked, you mix it in and you can turn the heat up. So we're getting a good base here. I'm going to use tomato paste. Oh shit, I didn't put the rice on.
Oops.
Concentrated tomato paste. Mutti, it's a good brand. Kind of semi-authentic Italian.
try to get one that doesn't have sugar added, right?
Gonna open it. Boom. Squeeze about half of it in. Add a little bit of soy sauce with it. A tablespoon, let's say.
Oh, okay. So the olive oil is just I don't know if it's anything special, to be honest. It's an organic olive oil from the shelves.
Organic.
I don't think it's a special Italian one. I'm not sure.
Pompeian. Anyway, so we get into a rich base sauce here. And you just keep kind of tweaking and adding to make it look right. I never taste it, actually. I go by smell and look. Keep it moving subtly without kind of mashing it up. Should I answer your question?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so okay, I'm just going to take that. Sorry. From Carolina, off food topic. What's your opinion on the relationship between being into BDSM and mental health? I watched old Missile and I Am Terrified clips, and the atmosphere made me remember why I loved you in the first place. Your focus changed, as has mine, and I wonder, is it one or the other? If you have time now, would you consider a remake of those clips with better quality? That's a lot of questions. No.
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But
the main question is, what's your opinion on the relationship between being into BDSM and mental health?
That's an in-depth question. I think there is a sort of deep relationship between sex and hedonism. Such, you know, if your mind is in a kind of state of volatility, constant volatility, sex can be quite a good focus, and I think it can kind of ease the mind. So I can see where it's quite a good substitute for drugs and alcohol and whatever. It depends how much fun it is and how far you take it. It becomes an addiction, and it's an addiction like anything else. It becomes a vice. Is it ruling you? Are you ruling it? I think any kind of playfulness in sex is fun and healthy. I mean, if you're going down an extreme hard route, then you might want to look at that. But I think you don't have to be mentally unstable to enjoy that. I think you can kind of compartmentalize those parts of your life and have fun with it. It can be fun rather than desperate.
Question by Owls. Are there any foods you had no idea about until you went vegan, but that you love now?
No, I think it was, veganism was a sort of a process for me. I'm now used to many things that I wouldn't have been into before being a vegan. I struggled for a long time with yogurt. I loved dairy. I mean, particularly yogurt. I don't know why, but I think it was giving me something good for my stomach. So I hung on to that for a long time, and then eventually just eased into replacements, substitutes, and now I can't even imagine eating any of that stuff, any animal products. I'm not I'm not judgmental with it. It's just I can't even. I mean, just seeing meat makes me kind of nauseous. It's really strange how that creeps up on you, and then at some point you can't unknow that. And then it's natural. You don't have to struggle anymore, right? I mean, it's just there, and you're a vegan, and you don't have to fight against the urge to eat meat. And anyway, so what we have here is we have a base. You want to bring that down, perhaps. We have a kind of rich, a rich tomato base. For the chili. Now I put this stuff in. Probably half a bag. Okay.
I think, do you cook a lot?
Yeah, every night.
You like it?
Yeah, I do. I like it. Sometimes I hate it if I'm busy, but generally it's quite it's a mildly therapeutic distraction. Yeah, it's good.
I'm sure
A
I've
little bit of
learned.
soy sauce in
Oh,
there.
sorry.
I have some water here, some warm water. Important that it's warm so it doesn't kind of, you don't have to recook everything. Just to flesh it out a little bit with a bit more juice. Let's say a third of a cup. Starting to look quite good. So I have kidney beans here as well, organic kidney beans. I'm going to put those
Low
in.
sodium.
Low sodium. Yeah. Open that. Keep it on a sort of low to medium heat now. I would have cooked the rice, but I forgot. That's a rice cooker. You need 1 cup of and half a cup of quinoa. It's quite nice. A little bit of a kind of crunchy thing in there. And then 4 cups of water with, well, it doesn't have to be hot water, so just 4 cups of water. And then slap it on, 10 minutes, you have your rice. This is looking quite good. Looks like it could do with a tiny bit more tomato paste.
Oh, Bree says, I've literally never had quinoa and want to try it. What's it like?
It's delicious. Quinoa it's another grain. If you get tricolor quinoa, which is a mix, you have dark bits and then light bits, and it's really fresh and zingy.
You can use it instead of any other grain or instead of pasta even. Or you can eat it cold in any rice.
Yeah, these are my grains up here. We have lentils, couscous, quinoa, red lentils, brown rice, and white rice. All of them are kind of interchangeable with any meal. Okay, so we're getting a good. The good thing about the tomato concentrate is that it kind of sizzles a little bit on the bottom with the olive oil, and you get kind of dark patches, which is important. I'm going to open this tin of kidney beans.
Yeah, if you want to get into few grains, it's definitely a good thing to just throw a little bit into, like, say you used to rice, just throw a few lentils in with it when you cook it, and then you slowly, can see if you like that or not.
Hi. Yes, this is smelling pretty good, looking pretty good. I have a secret weapon with chili, which is it's smoked paprika. It's very, very nice to finish it off with. Let's put the kidney beans in first. Half a tin of kidney beans.
Do you like cooking sweet dishes too, like puddings, or prefer savory? I like your very straightforward answers today. No. Yes.
No.
Okay.
I'm washing my hands. That's what I'm doing. Do what? Tell me what's going
I was
on.
in the packet because it's in the way of cooking.
Oh.
Yeah, seriously, get this right.
I'm not really professional at this yet, so I'm being told it's good. It's good. So we have this very nice looking chili, smoked paprika. I would say half a tablespoon. Let that mingle.
You're really good at this. We need to do this more often.
And a little bit of olive oil to kind of soak up the paprika a little bit more. You can make it as indulgent or as healthy as you want. You don't have to use olive oil. You can do all of this without oil. I know John Siren would like me to say that. Okay. We need a little bit of spice. So we need some red chili, dried red chili pepper. Spicy. At the moment, I'm not. I would usually use serrano peppers, like fresh serrano peppers, but I don't have them, so I'm going to use this. I like a little bit of green in there, but don't have it. So I would say a teaspoon of this. Dried red chili flakes to give a bit of the pokiness. Tiny bit more soy sauce, just a little. It doesn't want to be too homogeneous. It needs to kind of spread out a little bit, but also feel kind of luxurious, generous, luxurious, right? And then a bit more of the water, spread it out. We're kind of there.
Okay, Sucrose wants you to come to her house and cook for her.
Cook for you, play for you, anything else?
I know. She's greedy. It might just happen, you never know.
So what I would do now is, while I'm waiting for the rice, is I push this. Oh, I forgot the salad. Okay, yeah. I put this over here and let this just kind of crisp on the bottom. So it gets very, very low, but the oil should kind of crisp some of the nice and bites you can get from any supermarket. And a bowl. And I'm going to chop this cabbage extremely finely. I'm quite fascistic about this. Can you see? Oh, Janine has fallen.
I died.
Okay, so it depends. This knife might not be quite right. We'll see. I'll take a bit of the end off because I need to get into the heart of the cabbage. And then I will do it very, very thinly, very fine, chopped. Almost,
Woman down.
almost kind of stabbing the cabbage sideways.
Someone's asking about that card.
The cart looks like I inherited it from my granny, but it's actually kind of inherited from a local desert rat.
He just left it in your barn, right? Because he didn't have space for it on his car or something.
He did.
And usually Chris will have like his lenses and camera equipment on it while he's filming, so you can kind of it's on wheels. It's a industrial baking tray thingy.
Just brought in by Polsky. He had the enlightened idea to use it in here. Also, I get to cover that horrible oven over there. Don't really like ovens so much. I don't know why. I just find them slightly old-fashioned, and I don't know, they don't. They make me kind of depressed.
What?
I don't know why.
It's kind of weird, isn't it? You just, once it's in, you just can't do anything. Like,
It is. It's a bit frustrating because the oven's doing it all for you.
Do you want another question while you're doing that?
Give me a question. Very fine, very vigilant with the size of the cabbage. Otherwise, you ruin the whole thing.
Anesthesia is asking, forever off topic me, I've noticed that you like small houses. I'm your forever flipboard stalker. You told us your current house is quite big. Why so? Is there anything you'd like to change in it? And why do you like small houses?
I have this kind of fantasy of living totally small, off-grid. It never really works out because of the business. I need quite a lot of space to create. So this house came up. I wasn't really planning to buy this house actually, but it came up and it had everything that was required to live and to run the business, the music, the project. But I think eventually, I think a small house with also a lot of space to be creative. Like I have a big metal barn which I shoot the videos in. Yeah, so that's the goal. That's the kind of life goal. It's harder than you think, but eventually living off-grid, tiny, out in the desert. Yeah, beautiful. Any more questions while I'm cutting this?
By Venancia Fox. Do you have your own vegetable and herb garden?
No,
Or would you like to make one?
no.
Or do you think would it be too much upkeep? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we have a good kind of raw cabbage, raw red cabbage base there. So what we're going to do is add some sprouts, handful of sprouts, ta-da. And then we're going to do salt and pepper, olive oil, maybe a tiny bit of balsamic vinegar, and spring onion.
I think the reason
Those forks there.
Yep. The reason you wouldn't do herbs is one, you don't have the patience to do that, but also going on tour kind of prohibits us from having any kind of potted plants.
It's
right?
true. It's true.
It all just dies.
Spring onion is here. So with a spring onion, this is not a great example, but I would usually cut it long ways, like this.
Oh, Brie just got her Echo CD. Yay!
Good.
Yay!
Then I would cut it sideways.
They were all shipped from the UK, so, you know, with everything going on, I'm not surprised that these things take time. It's been really, really mad in our world, in everyone's world, I know. Anyway.
Pepper, salt, okay, a healthy amount. Not too healthy amount, that one. Okay, so that's the salad. It's going to sit there for now. This is also...
Yes, electric pepper grinder with a light on the bottom.
Okay, so the chili is done. You could put it in a taco if you want to eat it. Does anybody want to eat? It's pretty early to eat. You can just taste it, right? Somebody say something.
Yay! Yeah, we would love to taste it. Paul and me would love to taste it.
Okay. Would you guys like to taste it? Okay, so it's done. You can show the...
Oh yeah?
Shall I put it up there? No, I'll put it here. A little bit drizzle on the top.
Wow. Do you see
It's got to be dark and rich. There we go.
Nice. Salad. Wee.
And we could get somebody's facial expression while they eat it. Not me.
Come on, Paul.
Going around.
So, tasting spoon, moment of truth.
Oh, or tasting from there. Okay, it's gonna be hot. That's
In
Paul.
my mouth. Banging.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Oh,
Banging.
and a kick as well.
Mhm.
Lovely. Very good.
it's important. The kick is important.
Well done, Paul.
Yeah, it's great. Really good.
Paul, hi Paul, hi Paul,
Hi,
hi Paul, hi
everyone.
Paul.
Okay, so that's your first session.
Banging.
I can't really offer much more right now. I think we're done.
A few more questions?
Yeah, a couple more questions.
Do you have any favorite food
Great.
that you cook more often, and what or who is inspiring you by cooking? Thank you, Little Mo.
Who is inspiring me by cooking? Well, my biggest inspiration was my granddad. He was a great cook. He still is a great cook. He's still alive, but he doesn't cook so much anymore. But his cooking he brought from the Seychelles. He's Seychellois, and that's kind of beautiful, fresh Creole cooking, which has lots of influences from India and from China and from Africa, because the Seychelles is pretty much in the center of all of those countries, and it's a melting pot of trade and things like that. So lots of lovely ingredients there.
The next question would have been by Stephanie Goodnar. Do you have any favorite traditional foods, i.e. Indian curry? So that's kind of being answered, I guess.
Kind of. I mean, Szechuan curry is quite different. Indian is absolutely delicious as well. Grew up in the UK, so that's actually Britain's national dish, is curry. And they have incredible curries there, particularly Birmingham. It's a great area for curry. So when we very
All
rarely...
the proofs.
Oh, I miss it. English curry, British curry.
Yeah.
Well, you got a few more months to wait before you get that.
I know. But yeah, that's great dish.
Can you please tell about creating Paula the First from Unfall? I'm madly in love with it and think it's the most unique work of yours by Julia Paradox.
Just wanted to do an ambient track celebrating Queen Cunt Paula. And maybe that was the intention there, was to find a way to calm her down. She is a handful. I love her to death. But yeah, Paula the first dog ever had. There's no dog quite like her. And the inspiration really was just to mess around with very wide, spacious, cinematic, ambient soundscapes. See what came out of that.
Where's Paula now? She's locked away because she would need full attention at all.
Yeah, she's a handful
all the time. So Chris wouldn't be able to do anything. Tyler is asking, what would you want to hear during a mental health crisis? Maybe a good point to remind everyone of the gatherings.
Speaking of mental health, yeah, trying to tweak the labeling of mental health is always one of the hardest, toughest things, because you don't want it to always really focus on psychotherapy or mental illness or health issues. Mental health is so wide in its range of issues that it's maybe just better to say life. But the gatherings that we did on tour were much more focused on the therapeutic side of recovering from issues. And I think the gatherings that we're about to do, which we're going to do in the month of April,
starting next Wednesday.
We're going to start on some gatherings. And also I'm going to be doing some performances, some acoustic performances, which you can be a part of if you want to. The gathering will be a little lighter, I think, than it was on tour. It's quite difficult to virtually to get in so deep with subjects. So to keep it a little more broad and lighter is a bit easier, I think. It's different when somebody's there and you're engaged and you're looking in their eyes, and you can say so much like that you can't through the internet. So we'll keep it broad and hopefully keep us all sane in this peculiar time.
Would you like to answer his question? What you would want to hear during a mental health crisis? I guess he means if you are in a mental health crisis, what would help you?
Right.
What others could say to you that would help?
Yeah. Well, what you're looking for usually when you're in a crisis are others that have recovered. I think that's the when you're searching for answers, you're confused, you're not quite sure if you are mentally ill or if it's just a short phase. There are ways to gauge that. Obviously, you have to do that with professionals, and you can find information online about measuring your level of depression or anxiety or whatever issue that you feel that you're facing. There are ways to discover that, but I think the thing that I looked for the most was evidence, scientific and personal stories of evidence of recovery. And I found that all over the place. And that's always a great thing. And it's important for someone like me who has been in that situation, because depression or any form of mental illness is quite difficult to understand for people that have not experienced it directly. So you have to go to people that have experienced it directly, or professional medical people, of course. And that's where you find your answers. And that's why I'm quite happy to talk about this now, and to talk about it openly, and to guide others that may be feeling how I felt 5 or 6 years ago, or not just 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, that was the peak of my crisis, but over time I've had many ups and downs, as we all have. But there's a difference between that and being kind of medically diagnosed with severe depression or something like that. You have to take it very seriously. So we're looking for others that have recovered, and but at some point it must turn into a responsibility of the self to improve the self, because in the end, all of the techniques that are out there, medication, therapy, are to augment your own strength. So you must at some point become aware that this will only happen if you yourself make it happen.
Thank you. We have just like a couple more questions. Victoria is asking, your bandmate John has written a lot about cooking vegan on the road. When you're on tour, do you prefer to cook for yourself, or do you find vegan food on the road?
It's becoming easier to find vegan food, but even the vegan food that you find on the road, it can be quite unhealthy. So it's better to the steamer here, for instance, healthy dishes just in that, and come off stage and then stuff your face with tons of vegetables. And
that has been on tour with us.
That has been on tour, yeah. So it's a combination of finding the right restaurant and if you're in the middle of fuckland, then you will probably have to cook for yourself. So you have to be flexible, and there's no rules. That's the thing about touring. Adaptability is key.
Do you have a favorite burner on your stove? Asked Reba Halietos Pelagicus.
That burner there, right there. This middle, closest to me, this one. It's a good all-rounder.
Wonderful. Okay, Natalia. Hi, Christopher. You're English, aren't you? Then why do you prefer coffee over tea? In my old-fashioned opinion, English, or the English, I don't know which one is correct, should drink tea. But most likely this is just my prejudice.
But it's very judgmental. I get it. And tea can be very good. The way the English traditionally drink it is with milk. Don't like milk. And never really liked milky tea. I mean, we have another English expert over there.
Can't stand tea.
Doesn't like tea.
People don't trust me because of that. Especially coming to the studio, the first thing, cup of tea.
Yeah.
Tea boy.
Never think about it.
Mm-hmm. It's quite. It really is ingrained in English culture. It's a strange thing. I have guests come here and they're saying, "Well, what about a cup of tea?" And I forget that that's just an integral part of English people's day.
It's almost like a cigarette break or something.
It's a way to break up the day. I get it, but I just don't really like tea very much. I like it. I can, Earl Grey black is fine. I like chamomile tea. I like other things like that. Ginger is a big favorite.
Sammy loves tea.
Ginger lemon. That's great.
Just to mention someone
Who
that's on tour with us that likes tea.
Yeah, she likes big sugary iced tea bottles, right?
No. I have to defend her here.
It's
No
true.
sugary.
Okay, I'm thinking
But
just
cold.
American sugar.
She
American
likes
sugar.
cold tea though.
Cold tea.
Iced, yeah, which is not something the English do, I guess.
Okay, so but I grew to love coffee, love it, and the end. Okay.
I'll give you one more. Okay, Deadliner. I really enjoy 5.1 audio mixes. Any chance of ever having some surround mixes done or releasing/selling complete song stems for fans to create their own remixes and/or 5.1 mixes?
If I really had the time, I would do that.
Sounds like a big job.
Well, it is quite a big job. I mean, it's another skill, it's another dimension of mixing. It seems very niche. Could be something to do. It would have to come up naturally. I think I'd have to have the drive, the impulse to do it, or to get somebody involved that would do it. I know David does that, and we talked about it briefly, but it would seem like a luxury at this point. If there was a bigger demand for it, I think I would definitely look into it. But maybe sending out the parts to fans to do their own 5.1 mixes could be something.
Keep it in mind for the next album.
Yeah, I've never been such a kind of audiophile. I love the detail in what I do, but I have never really indulged that kind of geeky audiophile side of that world. I think you can get lost. It's another rabbit hole, a little bit like plugins, or in the end, I just want to make a song, get it out, move on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Corner.
Okay.
Thank you guys for meeting us here, and I'm gonna get on the phone with Crowdcast now to make sure our April is safe.
Thank you so much. Hopefully that wasn't too bizarre an excursion into IMEX world. Let's see if we do it again. But yeah, keep sane, stay strong, be vigilant.
Send us your wishes.
Mm-hmm.
What you need from us, tell us.
Dress up naked in the N95 masks and send
Yes.
pictures to us.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, and your wish shall be fulfilled. All right, the
Dress
dogs
up
are
naked
barking.
doesn't really work, does it?
Dress up naked.
Well, you can get the aprons next time where they are naked.
Oh, naked apron.
You could dress up naked, okay.
In the dark.
Send a naughty apron to Chris. Maybe he'll do another.
Aprons, masks, everything, send it to me. I will hoard them somewhere for a later date.
Love you guys.
Love you. Long time.
We'll have this link up for a while so you can rewatch, and then we'll see what we do. Bye.